Does buying an Xbox Elite controller actually make you better at playing video games? To answer that question, I think it actually does, and that is because of all of the amazing features that it has. Firstly, there is the carry case that helps protect your controller if you want to take it on the go. Inside of the case, you can safely and neatly store all of the accessories to customize your Elite controller. Probably the most common complaint about the regular Xbox Series X controller is that it doesn't have an internal battery. Well, this all changes with the Elite Series 2, and it has an internal battery just like you would see on the PlayStation controller. But a very nice touch from Microsoft is a provided charging dock that can magnetically attach to your Xbox controller, and there is a pass-through inside of the carry case for the charging cable to plug into your Xbox. However, there is a tiny trade-off to having the internal battery, and it does add a little bit more weight to the Elite controller compared to a regular Xbox controller. The included paddles at the rear of the controller replace the functionality of the A, X, Y, and B buttons. The intention behind this is so that you can keep your thumbs constantly on the joysticks, and this makes it perfect for first-person shooters. If you're running around with your character and you need to reload or change your weapon, instead of having to remove your thumb from the aiming stick, you can keep them constantly mounted at all times for quicker reaction time and use the paddles at the rear to trigger those actions. There is a lot of physical customization with the Elite Series 2 controller, and the most obvious is the thumbsticks and the D-pad. Without requiring any tools at all, you simply can just pull the thumbsticks off as they magnetically attach, and this quick release system makes it effortless and enjoyable to use. It also encourages you to try different configurations of thumbstick positions and D-pads, and I think if it was a bit more difficult to customize it like this, I would probably not mess around too much. When removing a thumbstick, a more advanced option is reveal, and by using this provided tool, you can adjust the tension of each of the thumbsticks. There's 3 different options for this: low, medium, and high. By default, this will come set as medium, which is just the same tension that you find on any regular old Xbox One controller. One turn to the left will set your thumbsticks to low tension, making them incredibly light and fast to move around. But turning the tension key to the right will set it to mode 3, which is the highest tension. And this higher thumbstick tension replicates the Xbox 360 controllers from back in the day. And I set both of my thumbsticks to this because I hadn't realized how much I'd missed that feeling. Next, let's talk about the triggers. You have 3 different options for each of the trigger sets. And by adjusting the simple switch at the rear of the controller, you can change the throw of each trigger. By setting this to mode 3, you will have the default Xbox One controller trigger feeling, which I think is more suited to racing games where you need that additional throw in order to control the throttles and brakes. Mode 2 will then shorten this throw by around 50%, and mode 1 will basically remove any throw from the trigger. I found when I was playing Halo, mode 1 was perfect for fast trigger action when you were using semi-automatic weapons. Just below these trigger adjustment switches, we have our paddles. The default configurations of these are as follows: P1 is B, P2 is Y, P3 is A, and P4 is X. I don't think the placement of these paddles could have been any better than they are. They sit very well in the hand, and I didn't frequently find myself accidentally triggering them by mistake just simply by gripping the controller. The paddles are completely removable for situations in games where you may not want to accidentally trigger them. You can create multiple different profiles for this Elite controller, and you have 4 different modes. 3 of these 4 modes are completely customizable for the user, and you can go wild customizing this inside of the software when you connect it to your computer. I think if you are going to invest in an Xbox Series Elite controller, it may be worth waiting until there's a very cool special edition like this Halo Infinite one that released this year. It makes the whole package feel a little bit more special for the price you're putting down for this type of accessory. If you are a huge Halo fan and you want to see more of the Xbox Series X Halo Infinite edition, I highly recommend checking out this video next.